I believe that we might have had a slight mic issue there, but hi, we're back. And we are looking at lots and lots of little tiny bar graphs for you guys now. They're only split into 3 sections. We got armor, shield, and hull. Hopefully that's a little bit easier than the last one. I am BBP here with Elise Randolph, and we are seeing No Vacancies versus A Band Apart. Elise, are you with us now? He is not. It's okay. I got this, guys.
It's all right, Bart. It's me, Ithaca Hawk. I'll come in now if Elise turns up. He can take over.
Oh no, I'm here. Don't worry about that.
Okay, I'll give it back to you.
I got so excited in the last round that I knocked over my mic and the wire just broke. But yeah, Band Apart, they're probably not too happy with what they're seeing here. They're in double Hyperions, which is a wild choice. A Balgorn, Navy Harb, Pontifex, double Vengeance for tackle, Vexer, and then 2 Thalias. They're logistics frigates, by the way, but they're Galente logistic frigates.
Which is a little bit interesting because the Deacons were up for picking, so I'm not really sure why they picked those. Maybe they thought they were going to be going up against a blaster rush, but instead they are up against, yet again, another Minmatar rush, though this time we are seeing a Cyclone, which is a T1 Claymore. It does not perform anywhere near as well, but I can understand why they decided to bring it. We got a couple battleships sitting at 0, and we got a lot of heavy assault missiles about to smash straight into them here.
Yeah, this is going to be painful, right? So double Claymore, so they're budget Sleipnirs, and triple Lokis. That's Webs, that's Hams, and you can see the Band Apart team. They're all just pinned down right now.
They are, and this is probably a good thing. I do notice that No Vacancy had not actually tackled Rick's Javix, which is probably so he can out-transversal himself, so really, really smart on that end. But they are also pumping a massive amount of damage into him, and he is almost dead already in his Hyperion.
Oh my gosh. So Hyperion Hull is not something we generally see very much. They do have very formidable local tanks. Not too good when there's just gigatons of hand missiles flowing at your face. As you can see, he's repping right now. He's got his Ansel running. The little purple bar on the defense bar is his active rep. So he's trying to stay and live here and trade his life for that of a Loki. Virtuo in the Loki is slowly going down, but the scalpels are able to keep him up, as it seems.
It's hard to tell. I think that maybe Rix just didn't have the repair overheated because he kind of is holding, like we're seeing little slight structure bleeds, but the Loki is not holding, and it is getting hit by 3 blaster ships into a Loki's resist hole. So if they didn't plug that thing is going to go down way before Rix does, even if Rix's ancillary runs out.
Oh, Rix is baiting. It was a master stroke. The Hyperion lives. Loki goes down first. First blood to A Band Apart. Rix is still alive here. His Ansel is going to go down, but unlike the shield Ansel, he can still rep just a lot less.
And A Band Apart has made an incredibly intelligent tactical decision and grappled Rick's Javik, so he is forced to sit at 0 transversal, which is helping him apply tons and tons of DPS as they swap onto Anamindar in the Loki, and they're doing tons of damage, and Rix is barely going down. I think he might be about to bleed through, and there he goes.
Yeah, I mean, he traded himself for a Loki and half of another Loki. Anadar is going down in this Loki. Unfortunately, there's only 1 Hyperion and a Harbinger plowing into him right now, so he might be able to hold in this Loki. The Navy Harbinger by the Band Apart is now being focused down, and he's just melting right now through all this damage.
He is getting completely destroyed. I think that if they had gone for him first, that might have been a better target, as this Loki of Anna is also dead. Vindicator webs are not Vindicator webs, whatever webs were on it were incredibly powerful. Grappled them down to 7 MS. We have Auric in the Loki now, and they're just kind of picking through these Lokis right here.
Yeah, they need to get rid of these Lokis pretty quick. So the Balgorn on the Band Apart side is a really heads-up play. He's throwing newts onto these scalpels right in crucial moments where they need reps. So these Logi frigates are without any rep power, or at least diminished rep power when they need it. But as I said, that this Navy Harbinger finally goes down, so it's only 1 Hyperion, double Vengeance, and Vexer in terms of damage for a Band Apart. I don't know if they can do it. They have all the control in the world here, but they've got no damage to apply.
I am a little concerned. That Balgorn is a full energy newt Balgorn, or no, sorry, it is a laser Balgorn. So they do have a little bit more than some of these other Balgorn teams we've seen here. And whether or not, this Loki is still going down, the newt pressure on those scalpels is incredibly difficult for them to deal with, especially because they probably don't have a particularly good amount of cap regen, since they are most likely using all their mids for tank.
Yeah, but the Vengeances right now on the Abandoned Part side have noticed a little gap right here, so they're going after this scalpel. They're forcing the other scalpel to say, "Hey, are you going to save your buddy, or are you going to put everything on this Loki?" So like huge potential victory here for the Abandoned Part side if they can get either the scalpel down or this Loki down. They need to get one of these things down before their Balgorn drops.
And we are seeing a really good newt spread from a band apart too, hitting both scalpels and then a little bit of a nos on the Loki, which is probably just to keep capacitor up. So they're putting so much pressure out by effectively trying to shut down 3 ships at once, and that Loki is bleeding through at the same time as the scalpel.
All right, so Balgorn, Hyperion, they're still alive. This Band Apart team, they're just survivors right now. They are holding on for dear life, and they finally have something to show for it. They've got all of the Lokis down. 2 Claymore still pumps out a lot of damage, as you can see. But right now, the Scalpels are feeling the pressure now too. And since they've had this Balgorn for so long, 5 minutes already in the match, the capacitor from everyone is on the no vacancy side is starting to feel the pressure.
The Balgorn is holding on pretty well too at about half armor. Those 2 Thalias from a Band Apart have just not really been messed with at all, besides somebody taking a potshot at one once. The Scalpels do seem to kind of be stabilizing, but we might see frequency go down here.
Yeah, it looks like he's really feeling it because his partner, Slave Matt, is being neuted and has been neuted this whole time. And we can see this Balgorn's going to throw on another newt just right around now where they might need that extra cap. So really heads up play by this Balgorn. He's pushing a lot of buttons while trying to not die right now.
And it's interesting. We usually don't ever talk about Vengeance's DPS because honestly, the way that most people fit them, they do really little. But that tiny amount that he's putting onto that scalpel is just enough that it's splitting the reps. And the other scalpel of Slave Mat had to send reps over to the scalpel of Frequency just to save him. And now the Cyclone's breaking.
Yeah, so really making the No Vacancies team make some hard decisions here. Are you going to save your rep buddy, or are you going to let some DPS drop? Really heads up play by the Abandoned Part team. Their target calling has been immaculate on this round so far.
And we are going to see the last scalpel go down. The newts and the ECM drones were just too much. So we have a single scalpel, which, once you have 1 Logi frigate, you're about to have 0, if they even bother with it. They might not. It looks like he's having a lot of trouble even keeping his reps. Like, Balgorn newts versus a poor little frigate is always rough. And Band Apart is looking at the Claymore now of Pinky Lynn.
Yeah, so this Claymore, very similar to the Sleipnir, they might have ASBs loaded. So you'll see 9 big reps on the shield for them, but then they'll start to slowly drop. As you see, this scalpel, they're just taking this out right now. The double Vengeances are saying, you know what, we got nothing else to do. Let's kill this scalpel. Make sure he doesn't get anything off. Because they know their path to victory right now. And you can see this Claymore going down for no vacancies. It looks like there are going to be some vacancies in wormhole space because no vacancies are getting evicted from this match.
And apparently, if they lose this, Hard Knocks may be evicting them from TQ as well. So there's a lot more on the line here than most other of these matches have had. It's like, yeah, okay, you lost some fake ships on TQ, but you might be about to lose your real home.
My goodness. So this Claymore is going down, and now it's, the frantic pace of this match has cooled a little bit. Huge shout out to Sadek Arnak and the Vexer. This Vexer's just been running around, having his way with the support wing right now. He's finally caught a little bit, but he did so much damage in this little Vexer. The Vexers are only worth 4 points, and he got way more than 4 points worth of DPS out of this thing.
Yeah, they are it's a really cool ship that I think... Interestingly enough, this Vexer is actually blaster fit. Generally, we don't see that, but for a 4-point ship, you get such a nice little drone bay that you can fill it up with both DPS or rep drones. So really powerful utility ship that I feel like we haven't really talked about all that much. Pinky Lynn's Claymore does go down here, and at this point, it's just a little bit of cleanup going on.
Yeah, so a huge shout out to Riggs Javix and the boys. They took Riggs specifically bait tanked really well there, or maybe he was just mashing buttons very slowly. I don't know. Either way, he played it masterfully, whether it was by accident or by plan. I'm sure that he planned this, the Pirate Lord himself. He traded a Loki and a half, more or less, for his Hyperion. What a way to hold out and start the match. Buy some time for his Balgorn to exert some new pressure. Just really, really well flown by this Band Apart team with unconventional ships. You don't generally see Hyperions in an Alliance tournament format. It's kind of insane to see. They don't get a tracking bonus or anything like that. So they just sit there and rep. But you know what? Band Apart pumping out the damage with these hypes.
And it is a little bit risky. I mean, he barely held on, but he held on just long enough. The Hyperions, they do a lot of DPS though, don't they?
But yeah, they're very, very high DPS ships. The problem is they have a hard time applying a lot because they don't get the Megathron Vindicator tracking bonus, right? So those hulls do get the 37.5% extra tracking. Hyperion doesn't really benefit from that, as we see the last Claymore going down. But when you're shooting Lokis that are not moving, who cares about tracking, right? The Balgorn's there to stop everything for you. So really well thought out setup, and probably took the No Vacancies team by surprise.
It is always interesting to see the Balgorns and see, some of these battleships we don't see as much. They really quickly finish off that last Skybreaker, and that's a Band Apart. They may be being referred to as aggressively mid-tier, though. That is, of course, in love, but they are going to be moving on to our next weekend, and No Vacancies is out.